Hi you guys, so before I start the unboxing and everything and tutorial, I just want to quickly mention I say something in this video that is completely untrue as far as this machine. It is only an embroidery machine, it does not sew. And that later in the video I realized that, and I'm like, I should have realized it when I noticed it didn't have feed dogs, okay? So know that this is completely only an embroidery machine. There's no sewing, so there is no foot control, there's no need for that, even though I ordered one. You'll see in the video, and then you'll see when I realize that. So I'm very sorry. I mean, obviously, you just waste a couple seconds of your time when I talk about those things, but it is only an embroidery machine. Super adorable, but only an embroidery machine. All right, let's get started. Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be doing a review, and I'm dreading this. This came in the mail or was delivered, I don't even know, and which is funny because they had let it sit outside my door even though I was here. No one rang the doorbell, and it says clearly right there what it is, and you know an embroidery machine is not cheap, but this is the Brother computerized embroidery machine, the PE550D. I believe, if I'm hopefully not mistaken, the first one, I've been seeing this Disney one for a while, right? So this kind of, I always stick to Singer, and I've had a Brother sewing machine that I actually sold, and I was kind of bummed out about selling it because it was my basic sewing machine. And it would, you could embroider like an alphabet. And I'm talking about just regular sewing, you know what I'm saying? Like the straight stitch, zigzag. You could put in a bunch of words or like and it would remember it. It would stitch it out on whatever fabric you wanted. So it was just like if you were like very simple, not really embroidery. And I love that. Not a lot of computers, not a lot of sewing machines have that option. So yeah, I've been watching this, and I know it started off with lower numbers. I think the last one was the 450 or something like that. So anyway, so I think this is the most up-to-date one so far. The reason I even started looking into it is because I have the Futura Quintet, is it Quintet? Oh my gosh, I don't even remember, but the fancy one, right? The big Singer, one of the newest ones. And I have not used that, and I'm not even kidding, since I was pregnant with Miranda. So basically 5 years, if not a little longer. And I take it everywhere with me. I used to use the smaller Singer embroidery machines. I had videos on that, but it's gone to my old channel. I did re-upload the Quintet videos if you want to check those out. It's an awesome machine. It has a bunch of hoops, way bigger than the initial Singer had, the CE200 or something like that. So this one has a 4x4 inch hoop. I don't think this one can switch out. I know some of the machines, they have the same body and they look very similar. They have another embroidery machine that's a Project Runway edition, just tons of them. And some of them you can't switch out the hoops. I believe this one you can only program up into the 4x4 inch hoop, which is fine. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted something like an everyday machine, but that also had some fun stuff, and it still has that alphabet. And I know you can still do the alphabet thing in here, so I thought that was fun. It does have fonts built in, but the fonts are for actual embroidery. You know what I'm saying? For like thickness, not just the little stitched out thing. What I did one time for a friend, her baby's name was Emma, a newborn baby. I just bought some, like the quilts that they sell that are already basically a whole yard, and then you put a backing on it and basically quilt it up and you're good to go. You don't really have to do much to it. It's like a panel. And I stitched her name all over it, and she was like, oh my gosh, like she'd never seen that before, and she was so, amazed by it, and my husband too. So it's a nice gift, it's really cute, really personal, and you can do lots of stuff with that function. So I wanted this for that reason. I got this one on Amazon. I'm gonna give you another tip. I don't know if you guys have the Amazon credit card. I've had it for, I don't even know, probably just as long as Amazon has been out, and now they're offering like 6 months, 0 interest, or like easy payments, basically like Ho Shopping Network does, or 12 months. And I guess since this was over, it was $2.99, but with taxes it came up a little higher. It was on sale. Normally I guess they sell for $3.99. It was for $3.10 or just under $3.10, and then there was a coupon for an extra, basically $10 off. I just clicked I wanted the coupon, so I got, which is not really 0 interest financing. It's just going to charge me $29 a month for the next 12 months, which I thought was awesome. And here it is. So guys, take advantage of that if you do have your Amazon card, if you've noticed that. So those are just a few little basic things I wanted to put out there. So it says it has cutting edge features, which are the large color touch LCD screen, which is very cute. The little onboard screen is in color. Advanced needle threading, which you always love. Designed with larger workspace. I guess that same area. On-screen sewing assistant. If there's a problem, it'll tell you there. 4x4 embroidery field. Bright lit LED workspace. And USB port for downloading designs. So this one does not take the cards. I know Brother has like a little area you can slip cards in. But if you have a USB, any USB basically, You download your designs from, what's it, Juju Beads? I can't remember her name right now, but there's a lady I love getting designs from. And you just put on your USB, you know, on your computer, and then pop it in the back here and you can pull it up. You also have to have it in a correct format. So a lot of times these things come in like .psv. They have different lettering, but you'll see whenever we pull out the manual here, it'll tell you what format it'll accept. Does not come with a presser, not with presser foot. Of course, it has a presser foot. Does not come with a foot control, which I thought was interesting. So I bought a cheap one on Amazon. So I have that here with me too, that I'll also review at the same time, because I believe it was 16 bucks. There was one that was even cheaper, but I thought, well, let's not get too cheap because I don't want it to like hurt my machine. So this thing arrived it came in yesterday, and it doesn't even have it's just like this. It wasn't even in a box or anything. It says electronic. But what's funny about this is, don't they all say that? Like, I've had other presser feet that look, or I hate presser feet. Foot controls look just like this. So I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know what the plug looked like though. It said it was for this machine, but then it didn't really say that in the instructions. So hopefully it'll be the right one. If not, I'll just return and exchange it for the one that we do need, because the Brother plug has like it's a little different looking. And then the thing on top there was just, they said, hey, you want to add this on for $8? It was like 100 pieces of backing stabilizer, which you will need for embroidery, because if you're embroidering, you need something in the back of there to kind of hold all those little threads and keep it nice and stable while you're embroidering. So I just threw it in because I was like, sure. And I'll have all the supplies for this stuff. So that's another thing. I know you're gonna have to think about what you want to buy. You want to buy rayon threads, like beautiful threads, or polyester that are real shiny and pretty, so that when you do your embroidery, it looks great. You don't really, I mean, you can use cotton, but it just looks prettier in rayon and polyester threads. And they'll tell you there, like whenever you go to the store to buy, I just buy big kits of them. I buy specific colors when they're on sale, like at Joann's. If I use a lot of bright pink, bright green, you know, teal, like pretty colors. I just buy the bigger spools. I'll show them to you when we pull those out of my own stash. I already have stabilizing fabric, but I'll show you the ones I got here from Amazon. I don't know what I'll embroider on, maybe a burp towel or a baby diaper. Maybe a diaper cloth is usually what I embroider, because it's usually baby gifts that I use this for. But what else? Oh, and then you're gonna need bobbin thread, and this is specific bobbin thread for embroidery, because it'll be a huge spool, and it's like $3 because it's like the thinnest little thread you've ever seen. But you need that for the backing. Basically, you're not gonna use the same thickness of thread in the back of your embroidery design, but we'll talk about that later. It's basically, if you had a bobbin thread, you know, the little bobbin holds so much thread, right? If that thread was thicker, that bobbin will run out really fast. You might not know. It messes up your design. So like, you just want to have a lot. So it's really, really thin thread, so you can get a whole ton on that little bobbin so it lasts longer, because basically it just stitches up in the back so much. You'll see. If you ever look at the back of something that's embroidered, you can see those white threads. It's very dense, right? So there's lots of reasons why you need a special bobbin thread. And just embroidery thread, bobbin embroidery thread, I think is what it says when you go to buy it. So yeah, no, this came in and I'm just like dreading trying it out, because it is a thing. I'm gonna have to take it out of this box, you know, get it all set up and really really focus on it. And it's so much fun once you get things going. Everyone says this machine is so easy. So of course, like I said, I have a more advanced machine, so I know quite a bit about this kind of thing. So hopefully this is a good starter for you guys. It's a great price. You can get it for a great price, like I said, in payments on Amazon. You know, or even straight out. It wasn't that bad. Like I said, it was just under 300. So that's awesome for an embroidery. I would never even think to get an embroidery machine that costs that little, right? So so hopefully it's a good machine. Let me go get my supplies together. I think that's probably all we need to know for now. We're gonna open this guy up. And like I said, it was intimidating when I came in. I just served myself some ice cream and a cupcake, because I was like, I don't even want to see this here right now. It came so fast, you know, it's Amazon. So, all right, let's get started. Okay guys, so first up, I'm just gonna try to open this thing up. And I hope it works straight out of the box. I don't have to like return it or call anybody. I've never had problems with sewing machines like that, so I've been lucky. Or they just have better quality control, obviously, nowadays. Oh goodness. Okay. So let me look at my screen here, see what you're looking at. Okay, perfect. So we have our power cord. Looks like a dust cover, which is nice. The frame, a piece of cardboard, and then our little accessories. So of course you can go through these and see that, you know, you have everything in there. Really nice that some of the bobbins already came spooled up with the white. I'm assuming that's, well, obviously it's bobbin thread, and hopefully it's the right kind, not just the regular thread. You know what I'm saying? Because this should be really thin, and I'll show you that in a minute. A bunch of other little knickknacks are in there. Hey, you know what? Does it have a buttonhole? I have so many of these things, like it doesn't matter, but yeah, this one does not come with a buttonhole, at least not in this accessory bag. We'll see what's in the on board. I don't really ever use those things, so that's why to me it's like, when HSN gives it free, you know, or like value added or something like that, that's great too, but. All right, perfect. So I kept trying to find pictures. Everybody always showed it with this on it. This is the embroidery attachment, but it does also, actually it looks like it only has a free arm other than this. That's kind of interesting. So this is your embroidery base, and that's what you put the frame on. So yeah, all the pictures of this, I couldn't see any pictures that showed it without that. That's kind of a bummer. Usually, like my my Singer machine, it has a different arm that you can put on here to cover this up so it looks nice. But it's either the embroidery piece and you just leave it on there, I guess, forever. Just kind of random. I don't know if that's my favorite thing. Obviously, you can take it off if you're doing like sleeves or something else. You have to roll it through here, but it doesn't look finished, you know what I'm saying, without something else sliding on here. But oh well. So we have that. And of course the instructions, which I will thumb through real quickly before we really get started. But let me go ahead and plug this in basically. Well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna plug it in quite yet, but I will put it out there. I don't see an area to plug in a foot control. That is interesting. I'll have to check that out in just a second. Okay, so that is a bit of a bummer. But I think as far as the foot control, like I said, I don't see a place to plug it in. But a lot of times, like in our older machines, or some machines nowadays too, the foot control is attached to the power cord. Have you ever seen that, where the power cord comes out and then the foot control is off on the other direction? So I'm assuming that's what it is, because other than that, there is no other way to plug anything else in other than your USB, again, if you have any designs you want to load into there. And then your power button. That is it. That's, I don't know how I feel about this already, just because of those couple things. No foot control. And unless there's an option, I'll have to look it up. Like I said, let me see what this foot control looks like. I'm pretty sure this one's not going to do it, because this looks like it's its own thing. Let me see. Yeah, because this has its own huge cord. I don't know if you can see that. It's supposed to plug in with like a three-pronged area. But this one also does have where it goes off onto the power cord, and then it goes off to the foot control. So I'll probably have to just look it up, find one that only has the two prongs, because I didn't know what this was going to look like. I just ordered because I figured in a way I just wanted to have it ready to go. So this is obviously the wrong model for this for this sewing machine, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, so of course you're going to take off all your little tabs. Carefully, I would assume here. And they tell you to register your machine, register it today. Try to lift this up. The presser foot, it lifts here. And it's still taped glued in the back here. All right, so we slid that out. Again, presser foot lifts from the inside area here. So obviously there's lots of things we need to remove. So let me get all this off of here, and then we will add on the embroidery base. So what I was trying to say is a lot of times machines come with a second base that you slide on here. Now the Project Runway model of this, I believe comes with the little plate, that more like a quilting table, which is maybe what I'll pick up for it if I keep this machine, because I do want it to be a little bit larger area. I don't want to be fighting with the embroidery with this guy. So what you're going to do is just take this guy out of here. Is it all wrapped up? Is it? Try to see how you slide this out. And basically this guy just slides in. Like I said, I was trying to see if there's any other attachments on board. There aren't, because it doesn't come with another thing. Most machines, they do have here, there's like a little bit of an electric power situation. Well, that's how it knows that this thing is plugged in, and it'll start using it to work with. So we're going to slide that in. And now your machine looks like this. So it's a lot bigger, as you can see once that's in there. What I'm trying to say is if you want to keep this on here so you can sew, this is going to kind of bother you. So it's like you almost have to sew with this off of it. And actually you probably have to sew with that off of it anyway because of this kicks in the embroidery function, right? But I'm going to leave this on here just for a minute because we're not going to quite use that yet. Let's plug it in. And see what it wants to do. And we'll go from there. So the bobbins already came wound like I showed you, but I did want to show you, I went out to my garage. Like I said, we moved in November, and it's been a long time. I even found the project that I was working on when I was pregnant, and I put Miranda's name on it, and I never made the quilt, so maybe I'll do that, finish it up on my quintet, so because that's where I started it. But because people were wondering about the sewing functions on the quintet, and I never went back and did that. So I did find some of my threads. This is a mess, but I have another one, that's Sulky one, that's all the colors that Sulky offers pretty much. So you're looking for something like this. This is Gooderman thread. This is bobbin thread. It's super, super lightweight. It's 500 meters, 547 yards, 100% polyester, and it'll say bobbin thread, and it's just the thinnest thread, thinner than, you know, other threads that you would normally pick up. And then you want your beautiful rayon threads. So these are like Sulky, 100% viscose rayon. This is a bright yellow. I brought a lot of black because it's a color you might use very often. Picked up some other colors, accent colors here and there. There's metallic ones. There's all kinds of different colors you can pick up. Hey, this seems to have brought its own thing. But anyway, so I just keep them all in here. All the different colors, but that's what you're looking for. Those gorgeous polyester threads, and then your bobbin threads that are just normal, really thin, super, super thin thread. So I'm gonna plug this guy in and I'll be right back. Okay, nice long cord. I didn't need an extension cord, guys, so I do have it plugged in here on the side. Again, I'll look and see if there's a foot controller that also does this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off because in case I turn it on and it wants to move, I don't want this to inhibit it from moving. You never know. A lot of times it kind of does its thing and adjusts and then it turns on. So I just want to make sure that this is not going to get messed up by that. Okay, so let's turn it on and hopefully, all right, it's coming up. I'm gonna sit down right here. Oops. Oh, that's so cute. It's really pretty, the screen. Let me try to focus in on the screen a little bit more for you guys. And the light came on, you see that? That's really adorable. I love everything I see here. It did a little show. Maybe it should have a little sound. That would be nice, huh? So anyway, it keeps running through that same little show. I'm gonna put this presser foot down. Right now it has the embroidery foot on it. It's like a little loop, little foot with a little loop. So that's not anything I need to deal with at the moment. I don't know what to do. Let's, I don't know. Let's, no, it says not to do that. Okay. What am I doing here? No? How about this? All right. I just touched the screen. It says select your language, English. Okay. Ooh, raise the presser foot level. That did not sound good. The carriage of the embroidery unit will not move. Keep your hands, etc. away from the carriage. Oh, sorry. The carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Keep your hands, etc. away from the carriage. Okay, there it goes. And that's kind of what I was saying. A lot of times with my Futura, it just starts up anyway. The thing moves. Okay, so now we have embroidery. We have, I guess those are motifs, like little pictures. We have the Disney things. We have fonts. We have other fonts, frames and stuff like that. Always press when removing embroidery unit. Oh, if you want to remove the embroidery unit, you have to do that a certain way, and it tells you on there, but we will talk about that in a minute. It does tell you to turn it off, and then you press this tab out here somewhere. This is what it looks like before you pull it out. So we're going to embroider because that's pretty much why we're here, right? So do we do a Disney embroidery? So this is a USB. If you did have something plugged in here and you wanted to get your design from that, you would press the little USB picture. This here, I believe, is where you switch between sewing and embroidery, but we will talk about that later. Let's press Disney. I don't have a ton of colors. I don't know what I wanted to do, but hey, go back. That's not what I wanted at all. Go back. Okay. Oh, is that? I just want to see if, no, so I guess you choose one, like princesses. Okay, so under princesses, we have 4 princesses. I just chose Belle, which is not what I wanted to do. I just kind of wanted to look through these. I do like Mickey. And you know what? We'll probably do a mini. I don't know. I have a beige color for a mini face. You know what I'm saying? Like a little, maybe, I have like a light yellow. It might look funky, but let's do that because Minnie's adorable and we love her. So let's say Minnie. It says that, you know, obviously I don't have anything on here. So let me get my hoop. Actually, we want to set our hoop up. So let's just leave it at that. That's been easy. You can also size it. You can do lots of different things here, but let's wait a second on that. I need to get something to embroider on. I also have this box that I carry around with me always. I used to keep everything in here, like baby onesies. I would have all kinds of other things in here. I still have my hoops for my Futura in here. I have basting spray, all kinds of stuff. So let me pick out something to embroider. I'll pick out my colors and then we'll try her out. Okay, let me back up just for a minute. So I have some basting spray. I'm gonna have this help me hold my interfacing or whatever you want to call this stuff. I'm gonna pull this out here. I'll show it to you real quick. Like I said, what I like about this is that it was 100 pieces, and look how thin this is. It's 100 pieces of backing for embroidery, and this thing only holds a 4x4 piece anyway. So to be honest, I don't need, you know, yards and yards of this stuff. And if it's already pre-cut and ready to go, I'm happy to use it. This is a little bit thicker than I would like. So this stuff comes in different thicknesses. So this one's, like I said, super thick. I'm gonna put that down. Let me show you a couple other ones that I have. I have this stiffy one by Sulky, and supposedly this is the best. Everyone loves it. Crisp Firm Tearaway Sterilizer, and I don't know if you can kind of see through it, where this one's like not as see-through. Hopefully you can kind of tell the difference there. You can pick up, oh, I love this stuff. Water soluble. It's more expensive by Sulky, and just basically you throw it in the wash, and then this is gonna wash away. You don't have to do anything about it. Usually this stuff, all you do is tear it away anyway, so it's not a big deal, but that's kind of nice. This is some cheap one. I don't know what it is. At Joann's, they sell it also in yards, but this is another cheapy one. I think I got this at Walmart, and I don't know if you can tell. It looks more like the stuff when you buy an outfit or clothes that has embroidery. Sometimes you'll see that this is still on there. So that one's less expensive. And I just realized I haven't even opened the paperwork here, so I opened this up. Quick reference guide, which we'll probably look at. Look how cute this is. So the Disney design guide. Oh, they're even telling you there what colors to use. Exactly, which is really nice. That's kind of where I was like, So under princesses, there are more princesses, so I probably just didn't look at it very well. There's a frame. There's a lot of cute designs, guys. You can find all this information online. Apparently there's a way to make little cutie things like this. Is that a bracelet? I don't know. I guess, because if it's embroidered, why not? That is so cute. Look at this one. Oh my gosh, adorable. But anyway, so with Minnie, like the Minnie I chose, you know, she doesn't need that many colors. She doesn't need a pink over her little tongue. So she might be a little bit crazy looking, but we're gonna do what we need to do to make that work. What I'm trying to find out, actually, when I look at this, it also comes with an embroidery design guide. This is really pretty. I am loving these magazine or type things here, because Singer doesn't do this. You have to just go through and actually, well, Singer, when you get their stuff, it comes with a disc, and that's basically where you would look at all these things, because you're using your computer to operate your machine to a certain point. So again, accessories included. You make sure everything's in there. If not, you just give them a call. I've done that with Singer. I was missing something one time because I basically bought it used, but from a sewing store. So she had misplaced a few of the items, and they replaced them. So I have a tea towel because I don't know what else to put this on. I'm gonna put Minnie on there, really cute. These I just had bought through Amazon. They were like $10 for maybe 20 of them. Let's open up this hoop. It comes with a little guide. I suppose that's what this is helping you do. You do not leave this on here. Obviously it's a plastic template you're not going to be using to sew on. But this is our hoop. Now I'm trying to figure out how the hoop, yes. So the hoop goes with this facing forward, and then we're gonna hook it on there. But first, let's put what we're gonna be sewing onto there. Hopefully you guys don't see too much of my Costco stuff over here. Instagram, I'm like, oh, I hate going to Costco, and now I gotta put all this stuff away. But anyway, so we're just unscrew this. Sorry, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I kind of, obviously I've done this before, but maybe if you're new, maybe you haven't. So we're just putting them to the side. I'm gonna keep it the way it needs to be, but you'll know because it has an arrow which way it goes, and then obviously the flat side down. Okay, so I'm gonna take this backing piece. I'm gonna take my tea towel and open it up to where I want to put her on there. I am going to spray the basting spray on this thing, only I would be really, just to be honest, super chintzy. I'd try to get it just in the area that I want to use, because then later we can reuse the other piece. But for right now, since we're on here and I want to look, you know, not too cheap, I'm going to spray the whole thing. Now, you know, some people say do this outside. I have my fan going, so hopefully this doesn't blow everywhere like on my machine like we just did. All right. And my tea towel does have a hook on one end, so I want to make sure that I'm putting this where I want it. On this side here. And, you know, if you're really serious, maybe you would have washed this first and all that, but I haven't used this spray in a while, so let me see if it's still sticky. Okay, good, it's still sticky. This stuff, I'm telling you, I bought this probably 10 years ago. There's still a lot in there and it's ready to go. All right, so let's bring out our frame. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, main frame stays down here. I'm going to take this tea towel and set it up where I want it. And basically that's what this little thing is going to help you kind of center what you're doing or do what you're doing. Right? I'm not sure. It says, I guess it says ABC on there because it helps you, you know, with your lettering, like where it's actually going to go. But I'm not too concerned right now. I just want to make sure that this is straight. We're going to take this guy, again, the arrow is facing up, and I'm going to feel, you're going to feel where the frame is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to open up just a little more so you can push this down, basically. And you want it pushed down flush. It might take a second. Especially this thing keeps closing up on me. Let's go. And I'm going to put my hand underneath here. I'm going to open this up just a little more. Hopefully I'm opening it and not closing it. Because what you need is that frame to be in there nice and taut and flat. So if it goes through lower, then that's not helpful, because then your machine's going to have problems, right? You don't want to push it through there, but you need it to be nice and flat. And I think that's probably pretty good. There we go. It's because this end had that little seam there, kind of kept it. So now I'm going to tighten it. And as you can see on the back, it's nice and taut. Sounds like a drum. Not too tight. Obviously, if you have different fabrics that want to be squishy and move around, you're going to have a little issue, but working with that. But you'll get going once you understand. You know what? I have 2 stabilizers on here. Ugh. That's basically the problem. Let me undo this real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so sorry about that. That wouldn't have mattered, to be honest. You could have left both stabilizers, but I'm just too cheap, like we talked about. But I did want to show you, it's still pretty thick. This stuff is, it looks like there's 2 here still. I was picking through. No, it's still just 1. So now we only have 1 on here. Nice and flat still. So let's get ready. We got to put our bobbin in. So let me get that accessory pack. I'm just going to use the bobbin that it came with. Guys, if you're familiar with sewing machines, you know, winding a bobbin isn't the biggest deal. I'm going to pick this up for a second. Basically, you're going to put your empty bobbin on here. You have your spool of thread. It says to just go around here, go around 2, and then back towards your bobbin. And, you know, a lot of times you have to press it to the right. And then just press start. And your machine will start winding the bobbin, okay? And then when you're done, you just undo it and undo the whole thing. And now your bobbin is wound, okay? I'm not going to go too much into that because that's basic for pretty much all machines. And it does come with little bobbin clips, which is nice. An extra empty bobbin, but the little clip there to keep it from unraveling while you have it stored away. And so I'm going to take that. And this looks just like my Singer machine. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know how people do things anymore. They're made in America, made in China, made in wherever, but they all are made by like the same manufacturer. They just put their name on it. Even the picture here looks exactly like my Singer. So it's showing you the way the thread is unwinding from your bobbin. So let me just pull this out. I wonder if that's the end or the beginning. That looks like that piece was the end because it's not really moving. And I would cut it smaller, to be honest, but I'm just gonna leave it now. So our thread is winding the way it's showing. And we're gonna press this little tab here to pop up this guy. Oh, there's an extra bobbin in there already, which is nice. So 5 bobbins. Okay, so we're gonna place it in here. I'm still holding on to some of the string, and you can see this must be the embroidery kind because it's very, very thin. You're gonna move it around just the way it shows you in the picture. And this thing does its own thing. So you can put it over here. I'm gonna put the lid back on, and then I'm gonna show you real quick. This extra piece that's just hanging out here, you can leave it, but it has its own bobbin cutter. So you just pull and it cuts the extra there. Okay, so now we are ready to add our hoop on. And I was saying, I still haven't really read about this, but this stuff is kind of basic. So I'm gonna slide this in here. And as you can see, the area where you tighten it is down here towards us, and that's exactly like in all the pictures, so that's good to know. And then this side has these two little kind of like screw looking things, like pegs, and then it has a little notch, and over here it has like a tab, and then an area where those two things are gonna go into, those two tabs. So I'm just gonna do that, and as you're bringing it in, you're gonna push it towards the carrier and push down, and now it's locked in. That's it, okay? All right, so there's that. What I wanna know about this mini mouse face is where it's going to sew. Let me lift this up a little bit. And the sizing. So there's a way that you can tell where it's gonna sew. Is it that? No. Oh, actually that means I set that, doesn't it? They're set 1 of 4. Okay, no wonder. So here on this side, oh, I pressed something. Let's go back. Here it says 1 of 4. And if you press that, I'm assuming it'll take you to the next page. Next page? No? What's going on here? It should. Oh, you know, let me read about this because it should just click you over. But maybe because I already chose her, it's not doing it. Yeah, maybe that's why. Okay, let me figure out how to get to the next pages. That way we can see all the images. Okay guys, this is actually pretty easy. So let's go ahead and go back to the main, right? And I chose this, right? Because that's what I wanted. There's different designs and different ones. There we are. And if you want to go to the next pages of designs, you just press the forward button. It's not a touchscreen thing. So they're, oh my gosh, they're so adorable. This is, oh my God. But again, you can buy, you know, embroidery designs. You don't have to have this machine, but it's kind of nice that they're on board. I don't have to attach it to anything. So let's say we want mini, right? And so now I chose her. It has this little thing that says no, I don't know what that means. It doesn't matter. So press set, and now you're going to be able to resize it, move it around, do all kinds of fun things like that. So I don't know that I'm going to move or rotate it. I don't even know that I'm going to resize it, to be honest. I think that's a good size. But let's say we were going to, I don't know if you just, okay, that's the moving it. You can also move it just by hand. You saw that? Hopefully that's still centered. I just kind of moved her off of there. And let's see about, no, I don't want that. Let's say there. And, okay, that's not what I want. There is no size option here, so that's kind of interesting. I think you are just going to have to keep her that same size. There are some where it's like, that's what it is and that's what it is. I remember I'm talking about on HSN, which I thought was interesting. But let's see here. Yeah, there's rotate. And if there was a size option, it would give it to you, is what I'm looking at. So that's fine. So let's just keep her there. But at the same time, I do kind of want it to be in the center. So let me press that again. So now she's centered. You saw what I pressed there. I just pressed move. And then it gives you, ways to do that other than just using your hand here. You can rotate it, which I don't need to. And that's fine. And then I think this one here tells you what thread options you have. So I'm just going to say edit end because, well, actually one more thing. Oh, that gives you a little view and say, okay. All right. I think we're good. And then next thing we're going to press is embroidery. Now listen, I don't know what color they want first. That's why I haven't loaded my top color yet because I don't know what color they're going to ask for you to put in. So let's say embroidery. And the first thing it's going to do is white, it looks like. And it says it's going to take 6 minutes. So let me find the correct color that we need. And then we'll go from there, okay? So let me get the white thread. Hopefully I have a shiny white one. That's kind of an interesting color to choose. And we'll get it loaded up and get it going. Guys, I do have a white Gutterman thread. This is not the same, hopefully you can tell, as the bobbin thread. This is the black bobbin thread too that I have. And you can buy these in larger spools, but this is a ton. But you can see how shiny and pretty this one is. And it might even be a grayish color, to be honest. That's okay. that's what I got. So let's load her up. And let me pan out a little bit. Move this. Oh, goodness. And again, this is all kind of the same kind of way that you would load up any thread, right? So I'm going to take a little bit in my hand. This has a little spool that keeps it back, which is really nice, actually. I like those options. So I'm going to put this on here, and it has a little way to open it up, to be honest. I'm trying to see if it'll stand all the way up. No. So we have it here. You can put that on. Put that cap back on, because that'll help keep your thread from moving around. It just makes it nicer, the tension and everything. So we have number 1 being a loop. Oh goodness, you know what? I kind of want to show it to you guys. So I'm going to probably hold my tripod here. Yes, I have a mess in my kitchen. So number 1, this is hard to do with one hand. It goes in here. Number 2 comes around this plastic tab. And 3, for our purposes, we're not going that way because we're not winding bobbins. It goes down. There's a number 3 there, and it goes back up around into number 4, which is actually the presser foot, where the presser foot kind of lifts up and down, the little piece of metal. It just hooks in there. As soon as you do it, guys, it'll find it. And let me back up a little bit here. I don't know if I can get any closer. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, here we go. Down to number 5. And then up. And I'm not sure what 5 is, because to be honest, it didn't do anything. It might be going back into that hook over there. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Yep, so 5, we're going to put it into this hook over here by the needle, over here. It says 7 goes around this piece of metal, and then up to 8, which is around the corner, which is basically going to cut that string off for you. Okay, I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot going on. It goes around here, but the numbers are all there. It's not that difficult. And then you're going to press down this tab here, which is supposed to put that in there for you, and it did not. So what I'm going to do now, that is weird, is do it again, because it came all the way up, and I just want to make sure that that's going to get in there. So again, over by the needle, up in number 7, which is this weird thing here, and then up to 8, and then press down to 9, and it could be because, like I said, my foot isn't quite right where it should be, maybe. Okay, let's do that again. One more time, guys. One more time. And if not, I'm going to have to figure this one out. What is this thing doing? Let me take it out of here. It needs to come in by the needle. This little silver hook at the very top of the needle, okay? And then 7 comes around here, and then 8. I think I should do it this time. Yep, I got it. Okay. Now I have all this string that I just wasted, but that's okay. So what happens is number 8, if you pull it down hard enough, it'll cut that thread for you. Okay, so that's just extra. I'm gonna put it to the side. That is a lot of thread, and that kind of bothers me, but whatever. We're just gonna pretend we're good here. And I'm gonna take this scissor real quick. So the thread, it came through here. Let me get a little bit closer. Sorry guys, I don't have a crew here that's gonna give you all that good views here. So the thread came through the needle, so all you're gonna do is just kind of pull it out and get it ready. So just pull that loop through, right? Now your needle's threaded, everything's good. So just make sure to catch that, and then your needle has to be in the furthest up position, is what it looks like. Presser foot is not down, because if your presser foot was down, you couldn't get all these things in here, right? Whenever you try to actually thread everything, it wouldn't work. So your presser foot has to be up, but the needle in the highest position. The way I got to the highest position is just turning the knob over here, right? Okay. So we have white in. Oh, this is scary. I haven't done anything like this in a little minute. Okay. I'm assuming now we have to put our presser foot down, so let's go ahead and do that. The embroidery foot is already in there, right? See the little... Okay, so we're good. And usually I hold the thread back, but I don't think I'm gonna have to do that for this one. This is a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. So it's telling me it's gonna take half an hour to do this. It says here 33 minutes. So I am going to press start, which I'm assuming is with this here. And there it goes. And this is kind of why I hold the thread back. You see it's coming out and it wants to, it's getting caught up in whatever stitching is going on, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. But that's usually why I kind of just hold the thread back while it goes. So I'll be back in just a few minutes to show you the progress. Okay guys, so far I kind of let it go, and then as soon as I could cut those white threads, the initial one, the one I was telling you I usually just hold off to the side before I let it start going, I just cut them off. My first impressions already, it is quiet. The setup was pretty quick. We got right to it, right? That's great. You know, like I said, you can't resize this one. There are other images that you can resize, but that's just how it is. So you're gonna have like a Minnie Mouse that fits in a 4-inch space, basically. What's funny about the hoop, if you look at it, it's probably 4x6, but I guess it needs that room to kind of move around. If it was 4x4, it would be very tight for the, you couldn't even do it, right? So you get a true 4x4 image, which is nice. Listen to it. It has a cute little whir, it sounds perfect. Obviously the bobbin thread is going, so the first thing, the white, is the dots. And you can reenact what it's gonna do. You can reenact also where it's gonna go if you weren't sure exactly where it's going to sew. You do a thing where it shows you, kind of outlines it, and we'll have to look at that after we're done, I guess, because we already started. But, so the little white dots are getting put down. I'm impressed. Like I said, it's gonna take 6 minutes, so this is one of the longest ones. The next thing is the tongue. It's pink, and it only takes 1 minute. So I'll be right back when this is done. Okay, so it just stopped and picked up, and although it said that it's gonna take 6 minutes, I think it was less than that. But anyway, that's fine. And what I do like is over here, it has a count of how many stitches it needs, which is 12,900, and it's already done 2231 of them, basically 2,231 of them. So 6 minutes has gone to the 33 minutes, and now we're on the second frame, which is the pink tongue, and it does have it highlighted there, so we need our pink. So you guys, we have to redo all of this part. So what we're gonna do is lift this up. I guess if you want, well, let me cut the thread first. We're gonna cut our white thread. Okay, we're gonna lift up our presser foot. We're gonna remove the white thread. And once you've done this a couple times, you're just gonna be a pro, because there's no reason why it would be slower at that point. So I'm gonna put this away. Oh, I do have a light pink. I was gonna say, I don't think I have a light pink. I have like bright pinks, but this is pretty light, and it is kind of all messed up. Since I don't want to waste that, I'm going to curl it back up onto its spool here and make sure we use that thread instead of just cutting that off. Okay, again, same thing. We're gonna put this on here, put our spool cap. I'm not gonna show you this for every single one because I'm sure it's gonna get boring after a while. So we're gonna go through number 1, loop around number 2, which is a plastic peg back here. We're gonna go down through number 3, which is around the house here, go up. Again, let's make sure our needle is in the highest position so I don't have to mess with this later. And that just pops it in through that silver carrier that pops up and down. We're gonna go number 5, which is way back above where the needle is. Oh, that one's hard to... Back in there. It kind of clicks in too, so just pull it in there so it stays, right? Number 7, it goes through this little piece of metal here, but really it's clipping into this plastic area, so you're pushing it all the way in. Pull it so it really clicks in there. And then we're gonna hold it up to 8. And then now we're gonna press down 9, and it did not get it in there again. Oh, this thing. Let's do that again. I mean, maybe my needle's not super high enough. Okay. All right, now we got it. Oh my gosh, it has to be exactly right for that needle to really thread, right? So now we're gonna put our presser foot down again, and it's telling you it wants to do the second frame, which is pink. We have our pink loaded up. I'm going to press, what did I press? You guys remember? Oh, the green button. I did it earlier without, I'm holding the thread out here again, like I told you, just so that it doesn't get involved. And once it's tacked down, I'm going to get close and just cut that off. Okay? And the tongue shouldn't take too long, like it said. I mean, it's basically said 1 minute, and it's just a little pink area. The other thing I was going to tell you is do not let anything hang out behind your machine, because this thing's going to move up and down and left to right and all that, and you just want to make sure everything's cleared out around this whole space. And there it is. Okay, pink's done. And then move to the next spot, which is going to be the next color. So I'm going to cut this pretty close here because I want to just cut that off. Again, needle up, remove our pink color, and the next one is going to be her skin, her face. There's actually a little picture of it there, which is hard to tell because it's very light. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that color and load it up. I guess in a way I kind of have to show you guys. I don't want to sit here every color and... You know what? I don't have a good skin color for Minnie. Either she's going to have a really good tan, or she's going to be a little bit yellow, or maybe this taupey color. Eesh. I guess we're going to go with yellow. Bummer. Let me go see if I have some other colors. I do have some other colors in the garage, and then I'll get it loaded up and I'll press start. Okay guys, I have the next color all loaded up. I just want to show you, I went out to my garage and I'm like, I know I have more colors. I have like all these different things that I buy on Chinese websites or whatever else. This is not rayon thread, but it kind of looks like it. It's probably polyester, but it, you know, what happens, you can use these threads. They're just gonna get a little bit pilly and stuff after a while, you know? So I have all these, you know, $2 and $3, maybe $10 kits that you can buy in different places. Check out Amazon. You can do embroidery threads and, you know, just read what material they're made out of. So again, I put that in. We're gonna pop that down. I have it to the side and I'm gonna say go. And so I found a color that's kind of peachy, kind of a cute color. So hopefully that works out. It's a little bit tan, a little bit peachy, and it's going. Okay, so this is our first mishap, but it says check and rethread the upper thread. It stopped. But what I like about it is it stopped exactly where it was. So this is one problem with my Singer machines. If something like that happens, you run out of bobbin thread, or you know something happens with your top thread, it's not the easiest little machine to just restart. Like, I don't know why. It's better in the quintet, but it used to be like, okay, well, forget it now because you're gonna have to do it again. And obviously, if you already have some of it done, it's kind of a pain. So again, cheap thread. It probably ripped because it's super thin, right? I mean, some thin stuff. So again, not polyester. And that's another reason why you want to do your good threads. But anyway, let me get this in here. We're almost done, so hopefully it'll hang in there for this next bout. Me and my cheap Chinese threads. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna rework it, and I'm showing this to you guys because I want to see. Go through number 8 again. Let's make sure our needle is in the highest position. I want to see if it just resumes where it was or if it makes a problem. Because if it makes a problem, ugh. Come on. What is this thing doing? Okay. Something already happened here. Oh, this piece of thread is stuck in here. All right. Okay, let's set it back down. I said okay, I'm checking the thread. Please continue in the same spot. Ugh, what a bummer. Yes, and it tacks it down again. Yes, that is what you need. Okay, you saw it did tack down and then it started going. So, yeah, the Futura, that was always an issue. If you had a broken thread or something like that, you were basically SOL because it was not going to let you easily just continue in that same spot. Supposedly it does do that, but it never did for me. And I've had, like I said, a couple of the machines. I do like the way it sews. I'm just watching the stitches. They're nice and tight and small. I know with the Futura ones, there's options to optimize, and optimize basically means let's do it fast. And in that situation, it makes longer thread tack downs, you know, and longer stitches, and it just doesn't look as nice. So this is looking really, really nice, almost patch quality, like, you know, when you buy a patch, it's nice and thick. I hope this thread doesn't break again, but if it does, you know what? It's not a problem. Okay, guys, it's almost done. It's pretty cute because on here, the little images, it shows you that it's doing this top corner, and look, she just finished. Did not have another break, so that's awesome. I'm assuming our, what's this stuff called? Bobbin thread is doing just right. So now it moved up to show that we're doing the, ooh, I shouldn't press that. It actually has a cut string here. Oh, I wonder what that, you know what? I don't want to mess with that. Because I've been cutting them by myself here. I have a feeling if I press that, what do you think, guys think? Should I mess with it? Should I mess with it? Cut the string? Nope. Oh, okay, hold on. I have a feeling I know what that means, but okay. So I'm gonna cut our string off here. It might have been disengaged. It might cut the string for you at the end when it's done, but since that was pressed like to be off, it's not doing it. I think that's what it is. All right, so this is the little thread I had gotten, as I showed you. It's just basically cotton. And I have 2 reds. I think I'm gonna go with the brighter red, right? Minnie Mouse. So I'm gonna load this up and press go, and I'll come back when the bow is all done. It might be hard to see, but I just want you to see the precision, the way that little red outlines all the white dots. And that's just it just looks nicer when they do that, because they can just start embroidering, right? But it looks nice when they do a frame and see how that red is just laying down, so that way it gets thicker. Does that make sense? So all these little threads that's laying down right now are just like base threads, and then after that it's going to go over and do a really nice job. So I don't know if you can see how sparse they are, and that just helps it get a nice umph. You know what I'm saying? So it looks nice and patchy like this. So nice, nice, nice. I can still see some of the red underneath here. And to be honest, I guess I didn't put this exactly straight, because as you can see, her chin is over to the left, but that's okay. You guys, we're just trying this out. I'm not super concerned. I only use these for my kombucha anyway. No one even sees them, so they're my kombucha towels. But it's doing great. Oh, it did ask me to check my thread after I started. It did a couple of tack downs, and then it told me to check my thread, like if it's broken. But it wasn't broken. It was just super loose up here. So I just tightened it up and then just said to go again, and it just kept going. So doesn't always mean there's a thread break. It just means something isn't quite right, okay? Okay, we just finished this tack down for the red. And last thing we're gonna put in is our black thread. So again, you know, you lift your presser foot, you take the thread out, you put in the thread you need, and then press go with that green button there. I'm trying to see if it has a place. No, sometimes they'll have a place in the back where you can put like a bigger spool. I mean, it's a pretty good area up here, but you would think that they would have that on here, but that's okay, because I do have this larger spool. But it does accommodate it pretty well. It might even accommodate a cone. It's a pretty good size spot there. Okay, so I'm gonna get this all loaded up and press go, and then she should be done. Just a couple notes while it's printing out this last black area. It's so cute. Look at that. Oh, her little ears. I didn't adjust the tension or do anything other than what you saw that I did. So just so you know, it was ready to go. You know, of course, those are things. I was say with the embroidery, even in the Singer, I've never had to adjust tension. That just does its own thing. It does its thing, and that's how it is. But when you do so, well, obviously sometimes the bobbin thread's a little loose, or maybe your top thread's pulled, however. So you might have to adjust tension at those points. But other than that, for embroidery, I've never really had to do that. So don't really worry about those things. I think if you start messing with that, that's when we get in little trouble, right? So definitely read your manual if you're getting that kind of pickle. But it doesn't mean you can't mess with the tension when you're just regular sewing. But just so you know, I didn't do anything funky. Just put it in there and let it go. Okay guys, as this is stitching, I was gonna say something and I just realized this machine only embroiders. That's why it doesn't have another base. And I'm sorry I wasted your time at the beginning talking about that so much, because obviously it just doesn't do it. So like I said, the Project Runway machine, I believe, embroiders and sews. I don't know why they couldn't just have this one sew. It's super adorable. It's basically the same price as the Project Runway machine. But again, it's Disney, so maybe that's where they're getting that extra cost, because I don't know that I can justify just keeping an embroidery machine. I mean, I already have one, you know what I'm saying? And a really great one. I do like the functions of this. I wish it would sew. That's crazy. How does it not sew? That is too funny. So I'm sorry that I mentioned that earlier. I didn't even realize. And now I'm looking at the box and everything. Everything says embroidery machine, embroidery machine. Why would I assume that it didn't sew? I don't know. That's so weird. But it doesn't. And it's almost done. It has a less than about 100 stitches left to do. So I'll be right back at that point. You can also buy, it said, a round hoop. It's not included in this kit, but so it's a smaller hoop. Other than that, there's nothing much else to buy for it, because the only embroiders, you don't need anything else other than the foot that's on there. Typing out the Disney part now. I don't know, that's crazy. So that's basically what this little circle is. It means the round hoop. So if you had the round hoop attached, you would choose that. All right, there it is, guys. It says finished embroidering. I'll say okay. And I guess let's cut that off. Oh, that's so funny. Now that it's finished embroidering, it cut the thread for me, but it didn't cut the thread as it was going through. So the very last one, it cuts the thread. Interesting. So let's take this off. I'm just gonna pull back this tab here. I don't know, guys, that just seems, oh, what a bummer. I wish it had sewn. Okay, I sound like a whiny little lady right now, but you know, like, why would it not sew? It used almost the whole bobbin. I'll show that to you real quick. If you look in there, more than half the bobbin is gone, which lets you know that it's just a really, really awesome amount of stitches. Like, that's really nice. You can always put interfacing or this stuff, the same stabilizer on the front too, and that'll just give it a different look, because like I said earlier, I can kind of see the red coming through some of the areas, like if you really look. So if you want to do that, you could do that. Most people don't, but you can put it on both sides. You know, it's up to you. There's a little emptiness in here too. But look how perfect. I mean, that's right on. All those stitches are right on, as far as I could tell. So all these little extra ones, you just come in with your scissors, trim them away. I'm going to go on Amazon right now and see about the Project Runway machine, because I do like this. You guys, I was embroidering in less than, what, 5 minutes? If even that long. Like, it just, you know, obviously I'm chit-chatting with you guys and stuff and unboxing things. But, like, other than that, I would be in there really, really quick. I do like that it tacks down as soon as it gets to a new spot. The tack down helps things from coming apart, right? I'm gonna get a little bit closer to get that little strand off there and the other ones. But you just go through and take them all off, and then of course pop out your project. I do like it. Oh, I wish it sewed. And now I look at it, it doesn't even have presser, it doesn't have feed dogs, so that should have let me know right off the beginning, right? I do kind of, I don't know, you guys. But I mean, does it work? Yes, it's great. I'm sorry I misled you at the beginning saying, oh, this would be a great machine, obviously, you know, for a beginner. Well, yeah, if you're a beginner embroiderer and that's what you want, great. And then, you know, the sizes only go up so big. But if you can spare a couple $100 more and get a machine that also sews, I would do that. Or that maybe also does a bigger embroidery area for you if you're interested in that. But look how cute. Oh, you guys, this is a hard one. I don't know. Again, you can get designs everywhere. You can buy designs, so it's not, you can even buy these Disney designs from Brother. So it's not you have to have this machine to get the designs, but I don't know. All right, well, that's a little bit of a bummer. I feel like I was all excited and now I'm just kind of like let down, but at the same time, it's super cute. I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the description box. And so there's not really much more for me to tell you, because, you know, I was going to go through and show you how to use it as a machine, but it doesn't sew. So we're done here, and if you're done, you can just be done, right? And I'm just backing out of the whole thing, but maybe there's probably a different way to do that. Okay to cancel the current pattern selection. Yes, that's okay. Again, if you want to put in some words, just pick the alphabet or the style you like, you know, click on that. Type in whatever it is that you want to type. There's lowercase and uppercase, so as you go through. And since it previews where it's going to be, you can definitely put someone's name on your little pieces here, you know. Oh, it extends outside the embroidery frame. It's because I have it really large, but you can reduce, let's say, medium. So medium size letters. So large, medium, small. Pick it out, and then you say set. When you go back, it's on there, and then again you can move it around, you can size it, you can rotate it, you can say how you want it to, the stitch width and stuff. You can edit the font, delete that, you know, and then just go and, you know, add someone's name or whatever you want to add to your project, or wording or something that you like to say, whatever slogan, whatever you want. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next one. And yeah, just let me know what you think in the description box. Bye now.